Okay, so let's look what artificial intelligence can actually do with a simple program like this. And in a previous version I gave it a prompt, write a C++ program, so you get C++ code, that asks the user how many bushels of apples were sold and then prints how many apples were sold that day. There are 423 apples in one bushel. And this is the response that I got. So first it tells you, hey, this is the program that you're asking for. We see over here the IOStream library, we see over here the standard namespace, the main function and the start of the main function. By the way, I always like to keep these braces balanced over here, and that way you can make sure that you always have an opening brace and a closing brace. In this version it declares a number of apples, and we just discussed that bushels is actually better. So user enters apples over here, but then the program multiplies the apples by 423 to get the number of bushels, and then you get the output, you sold this many apples today. So when we actually run this, and let's say that we sold 5 bushels of apples, and then it tells us that we sold 5 times 423, which is 2115 apples today. So you see that this program works correctly. It even explains about the program. We first declare an integer variable bushels to store the number of bushels of apples sold. This is a little bit incorrect. We use over here an integer apples. Then prompt the user to input the number of bushels. The user's input is then stored in the bushels variable. So you see that this is not totally correct. Then we calculate the total number of apples by multiplying bushels by 423. And then finally we output the total number of apples. So you see that it works correctly. The explanation is not totally correct. Let me also show you another version. And this is one that I just ran. Same prompt over here. This over here is Copilot in Microsoft Edge. And you see over here that there's a difference. We have bushels sold, not bushels. And then we also have over here what we call a constant, and we'll talk about that later. But this just shows you that the output of artificial intelligence can be quite different. And I can tell you that this program works just fine. You see that instead of 423 over here, we use that integer apples per bushel of 423. And there's an explanation over here. Ask the user for the number of bushels, multiplied by 423, and then prints the results. Okay, so just a little bit about what artificial intelligence can do with a simple program like this.